Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of FTL Mods Season 3. Something different this time around. Over the course I've collected a few mods that aren't really worth doing an entire run about. And are just like, with just 10 to 15 minutes I could probably get this done. So these are going to be a few shorter episodes of mods that still deserve their showcase, even though I probably won't be able to do a full run with them. So, we're just going to show off what those have in store. I think I got like 3 of those, so yeah. First one off. We're starting off with the hull swap mod from Rad82. The premise is fairly simple, as far as I can tell. It's basically you can play as any ship with pretty much any hull you would like. By that I mean you have like the Kestrel hull image, but it's going to have the starting systems of Mantis Cruiser B or something. At least that's what I think is. So I've got one version installed. There are 2 of them. One having something to do with shields or something. I'm not entirely sure how it all works. There is not a lot of info on it, but I'm hoping it's going to point itself out. So from what I learned, we do a new game. We pick a ship that we would want. As you can see, we got pretty much the bare bones essential, so I'm pretty sure I'm right on how this goes. So let's say that we really enjoy, I don't know, no, the Braves. Start off with 1 crew member, nothing else. Then you hit go, and then is when you use your hull swap. So let's see what we do. Welcome to hull swap. You will now choose a ship and try to adapt it to your new hull. Artillery systems from the Federation cruiser are not transferable, but you can receive scrap to compensate for the loss of the system. So continue. Page 1. Select the ship. What ship should we go with? Say, we'll take the Man of War. Hull swap initializing. Warning, if you add a new system, you'll have upgrade record by 7, 15 missiles, anti-bio beam, slug repair gel, shield system, more engine power, bridge bomb, crew, dual shot, med bay, and there you go. And now you have the loadout from the Man of War, but you're using this hull. Okay, that's simple enough, I would say. Does make me wonder. Yeah, let's try that. This ship tends to have a 4-slot teleporter, so what happens if you take a ship that also has a teleporter but not a 4-slot one? Say, the Gila Monster. Upgrade engine by 1, shield system installed, yeah. Medbay, door, teleporter. And we do still get that 4-slot teleporter. So I'm pretty sure you can see the benefits of that. The problem, however, lies in the teleporter being a system that is just, well, room size is pretty important, and I'm pretty sure you're not simply able to say, you know what, this ship has 2-slot teleporter, so how should I? You know what I'm going with, right? I don't think you can differentiate between a ship that has a 2-slot teleporter or a 4-slot teleporter. A teleporter is a teleporter in this game, and depending on what room you'll allocate it to, it's going to have 2 or 4 slots. And it's probably not possible to say, like, okay, if he picks that one, put the teleporter in a room that only has 2 slots in it. So you can sort of cheese the system that way, I guess. They said that the teleporter, no, not artillery was a weird thing. So let's see what that does. We'll restart, hull swap, continue, Osprey. The Osprey is, yeah, that's an Federation ship. Upgrade engines, bird seal system, upgrade weapons by 1, medbay install, door subsystem. Ah. So technically, if you're playing Captain's Edition, or anything else that adds artillery for different ships, you can install artillery. You can pick to get compensated for it. Alright. Okay, so now we know that as well. Apparently there's also something interesting going on with stealth ships. Let's take... what's its name again? Monster Necessio, no. Swap mod and restart for this option, yeah. The thing is that on a lot of ships, shields are set to start off with 2 power, I believe. Then either being the only ship, I believe, that only has 1 bar, meaning that if you would have picked 4, it would install the 2 shield layers, which is not the way the ship is meant to be played. I could probably just show you in the mod files. Give me a sec to bring those up. Welcome to the underbelly of FTL, or at least the back stage of it. So, as you can see, this is how ships are created. So, player ship energy 2, that's the no-either indeed. It's a Sultan cruiser. Unlock. It just, okay, that's not important. But as you can see here, where are shields? Shield power 1. Right. The problem is any other ship, let's say Kestrel, Control F, Kestrel. Yeah, it's in Dutch. Whoop-de-doo. That's it. Not called energy. Modified Kestrel ship. Then this is the Red Tail, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Red Tail. Let's see here that shields are on 2. Now, that's not a problem, but the thing is, say if you, where's a good example would be drone control. Drone control is probably somewhere in here. It doesn't start with drone control, the Red Tail. We all know that, right? But if you go down and look, drone power 2. This means if you buy drone control on this ship, it will start off with 2 shields. Now, I'm saying buying because that's the only way you can technically get systems in this game, but on this one, as well as the Scrap S063, I think the custom R-Wing mod that I did, were using events to give you shields, which is basically the same thing. It will go look in the blueprint of that ship as to, first of all, where to put it. So say this 2 starting power room is where it goes. Does the ship start off with it? Red Tail? No. And then the interior image is right here. It's going to go look in the blueprints as to where to put it and what the starting power of that is going to be. So if you're playing with a ship that starts with 2 shields, which is all of them except for the stealth cruisers and the no-ether, if that hull requires you to put on shields, that means that it will go look in the blueprints of the hull, not the ship you selected in the blue options. So you're going to end up with 2 shields rather than the one the no-ether normally starts with. I was going to go show you something else. Yeah, say the stealth cruiser. What's the name? DASR-12. Oop. DASR-12. Okay, that's... no, what's the A ship of the stealth cruiser called again? Ah, whatever. Stealth cruiser. I should be able to find something that way. Stealth cruiser. Yeah, go down. Stealth cruiser, yes. Shields, again, 2. The problem, therefore, is also going to be if you start off with the no-ether and you pick a ship that has shields, you're also only going to get 1 shield, which is where the other version comes into play. So you're going to need that on any ship you want to have the loadout of the no-ether, but you'll probably also are going to need it when you start with the no-ether. So that's the thing to keep in mind. Other than that, it seems like everything is just working. Fancy. Oh, by the way, for those not knowing, now that I'm in the underbelly anyway, let me load up a different... Alright. Remember that one NG event where two ships are apparently crashed into one another, which ends up with them forming unity? We all know what's more or less implied with that, right? I mean, we have all made our own assumption of that, and truth be told, the internet ruined us all, didn't it? What's interesting is what the actual name of said event is in the events lists, and here it is. This is the event. Well, part of it actually. Yeah, the event is actually known NG6. So yeah, make of that what you want. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it for this one. Let's move on to another mod, which means I have to close down this one and load up something different. See you in a bit. I actually can probably do it without having to quit. Do I still have my mod manager open? No, I don't. Let's get that going. Computer. Get that out of your way. You don't want to stare into my files, do ya? No, because that would be mean of you, wouldn't it? Well, it's my fault for putting it up there to begin with. Mod manager, superluminal. I have to bring it up. It's fine, you can't see anything here anyway. No, that I don't need superluminal for that. Okay, we'll probably have to cut a bit out of that. Mod manager, yes. Yes, these are the mods that I usually use. Here, combined. It's not gonna call this, but this is just my final version of something I did. So indeed, this is going to be one of mine again. And as a probably kind of a shocker, my last. It looks like FTL modding is starting to simmer down a bit, and interest in new mods seems to be rather low. So I thought, you know what, for my final mod, I'll do something. So this is the I've called it the AI pack. What it does is, well, for those following my series, I've created 3 AI ships so far. The Anomaly, which was my first, the Triumvirate, and the Scrapper S063B. Those were not really compatible with one another, mainly due to the artillery on the Anomaly and the Scrapper S063B that had that special starting tidbit. As a final thing, I thought, well, let's make them compatible and re-release all 3 ships in one fine package, because I did notice that some people did enjoy these, and by that I mean, like, I was helping someone on the Steam forums that probably was a mod, and he posted his mod list, and the Anomaly was in there, and I think it was the Nebula Drifter, so I was like, hey, look, those are mine, cool. So, anyway, you got your Anomaly, Triumvirate, Scrapper S063B. So the things I had to deal with, first of all, was this dude's artillery. Crap, I should have loaded it. Nah, I should. We'll load that up in a bit. But you'll know what I'm talking about in a little bit. The problem with this one was it had a different charge rate than all the other artilleries. The Triumvirate and Scrapper S063B had artillery with a base cooldown of 40. A base cooldown here is level 2 artillery. Level 1 artillery actually adds 25%, so that's 40 base, which means 50 on level 1, 40 on 2, 30, 20. This one had a base cooldown of, I believe, 24 or 28, so things had to be shifted around a bit. I ended up doing the same thing as I did on Captain's Edition, namely with the little bar there. So the Anomaly has its own little line in the middle of the charge bus. That when the bar hits there, the Anomaly's artillery will fire, and it needs to be full for the other 2 artilleries to fire. Other than that, my own laziness caught up with me, because I just went with default names for the layout and stuff like that. Those had to be changed. Other than that, not too much had to be done, but let's start this one up briefly, and then I'll show you how the artillery and all works. So, this also meant that since the Scrapper S063B uses artillery from Captain's Edition, that I had to grab Captain's Edition's resources for the artillery, and added to the mod. The one for Triumvirate were already in there because that was a custom. That was the Chaos Cluster Bomb. With the anomaly making it possible to buy artillery in standard AE, that also meant that the same thing would go for the Triumvirate, which wasn't a problem because it already started with artillery, but also for the Scrap S06B. So that's why I needed to add that weapon to the mod itself, which means you can now try out the Verdict Focus Beam. I think it's called, yeah, the Verdict. I don't know. You can buy that one on AE, and no cap position is required to get all the things with. They're all cap positions available, but artillery is also purchasable in AE for all 3 ships. Well, Triumvirate already starts with it, but that aside, both the Anomaly and Scrap S06B can buy the artillery. So this is what the start looks like, because that also had to be changed for the starting story of the Scrapper. So anyway, welcome to the AI pack ship mod. Keep a few quirks of AI ships in mind, and remember that buying artillery means you have to finish the run without quitting out of the game, except of course for the Triumvirate, which also starts with it. So you're not really buying artillery, so it's fine. If you're playing with the Scrapper S06B, select the blue option and have fun. We are not playing with the Scrapper S06B, so we do not have a blue option. So just click continue, and we can get things started. Now, if you are going to go with the Scrapper S063B, you do get the blue option. So blah, 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 blah. I'm using the Scrapper S06B, and you get the starting event for the Scrapper S063B. A little bit of adjustments because weird stuff can happen if you drag out this event for some odd and bizarre reason. And we'll quickly do this so you can actually see that it is working. Quest event isn't too far away. With a bit of luck, we're not going to get combat here. And it'll be a good test for me as well, because I'm not entirely sure. Okay, protocol AI move on. Yeah, this is working. Scan. Well, people wanted to see this, and since I'm not going to continue anyway, you open the encrypted files and use what they say, you want to give me a lift. Refuse, you are not built for this. Well, this is unexpected. Unfortunately, I can't let you Romans spill the metaphorical beans on my plan. To the rebels, farewell, Scrapper S06B. Last, hits a few buttons and runs for the nearest maintenance hatch. Suddenly, you notice a rise in core temperature, an indicator of the self-destruct being activated. You can't stop it. Continue. Boom. This does remind me that I will have to add the background for this one, because that didn't show up. Anyway, that's fine. So yeah, that's part 1. Now we're going off to see that artillery, which means I need to load up the mod testing environment, right? Give me a sec here. I should still have the mod manager open somewhere. No, of course I don't. Mod manager. We'll get to the... Oh, it's right over there. That's probably the one that is going to have the good stuff in. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it, the air cruisers. Alright, mod testing environment. Great! Great piece of work by Taxi Service to allow you to test your mods. Especially great for custom events who otherwise you could be spending 4 hours or something to encounter in the wild. But anyway. Yes, I want to run the game now. New game. I will pick the anomaly first, and then we'll try the Triumvirate. Just so you can see. Anyway, every ship gets a bit of this. Get some screen time. Anyway, cool, let's get started. Right. We're just gonna get some money. And it's resources, thousands, open the store menu, artillery is immediately available. Look at burst laser, let's get that as well. Alright, we'll upgrade this completely. Let's do this as well. It'll be a good check for me to see if everything is working, so. Alright, so the anomaly is the only one that has a quirk to it, right? Namely, the charge time being a lot smaller than standard loading time. So you can see this little white line here. This is pretty much the same thing that Camposition does for its 3 or 4 different charge times. Anyway, it's simple. If you're playing with the anomaly, it will fire once it reaches this line. Now it won't fire because we're not actually attacking the ship, but there we go. Yep, see, that stops. If you actually go on and fight a ship, fight a ship, no, dummy ship, normal dummy ship, right. You charge up, and I'll show you the 3 phases. It doesn't take that long. No need to actually engage. Just with our normal weapons, it's not fighting back anyway. But as you can see, we're not playing Captain Edition, and artillery did show up. Which means you'll also be able to do that for the other, well, for the Scrap Press 06V, because again, Triumvirate already. And there you go. If you lower that, this is going to go down with it. Let's just destroy the ship so you can see that the charge bars are actually quite good. And I just jump away, it's probably quicker. That also means the artillery description had to change. Again, I went with the same thing that Captain went, so cooldown times 0.5, cooldown times 0.75. Oh, that's in reverse. No, it isn't. It's actually fine. And there you can also see what weapon it is, Heavy Iron Mark II, which changes, or at least should change, depending on the ship. That's going to be another good test, actually. But I just jammed it in there, but we'll see. It's probably fine. Yeah, see, it stops right there, it stops right there, and it stops right there. Off to the... Well, let's do the Triumvirate so you can actually see. Yeah, nah, fine. No, this one... Scrapper. I actually never seen this one with artillery using the Scrapper. You could have gone with just continue there, but it's fine. Get some resources, money, open store. Actually, you're gonna be a jerk about it, huh? There's another store. Come on. We need that artillery. This could take a while. I should probably just start buying systems so the chances are lower that others pop up because we already have them. Yeah, I'll start doing that. Open. You can see the benefit of the mod testing environment. I mean, you can get all the money you want, you can load custom events, and I mean, let's get doors, drone control, medbay, sure. We're not going to be using this to fight anything anyway. Oh, that was going so well. And now we have auction on board. Yay! No. Alright, that's gonna be it then. Gotta avoid the quest beacon just because I can. Open. There you go. Artillery, yes. And there you have it. The big thing. On AE. Let's see if it fires, huh? Let's boost that up completely. I'll go up against another dummy ship. A normal dummy ship. You always have to test this stuff out, you know. Did you miss out on anything like a noise, like a sound or an animation or blah 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 blah? So this one is base of 40, which means it will charge up completely before it fires. And it does. And there you go. So yeah, this is my final mod, the AI pack. For those who are already interested in those, you can now have them all together without causing any compatibility issues. Unless, of course, you're playing with a slug ship. Yeah. In that reason, actually, none of them is either playing with an AI ship or play with nothing, actually, because this ship allows the purchase of artillery. It means it will also show up for Kestrel and all the other ones who don't have artillery assigned to them, which means you're going to be wasting 150 scrap if you do buy it with them. Other than that, there is no problem. Besides with slug ships, I mean, you can always see slug gel is renamed breach sealant, and if you're playing Captain's Edition, you will not get the blue options for having slug gel. So keep that in mind, and you'll be fine. Other than that, not much more to be said. I'm quitting modding because lack of interest. That's left from the community at least. And I'll still be here doing mod showcases and whatnot, but I won't be making any more of my own. I will just offer my service to anyone who needs a bit of help, and that'll be it. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go check out one more mod, which isn't technically a mod, it's more of an application. So we'll get that booted up as well, don't even need to restart. So this is the FTLCG created by Crud. I'm going to have to look that up again. FTL Challenge Generator by Karuker. Anyway, it's pretty simple. If you need a custom challenge, this is the thing for you. You got your numbers here, or where you can use your seed, and depending on what numbers you put in there, it'll spit out a custom challenge for you, giving you a ship, what to name your ship apparently, layout, pilot, and then 3 custom rules who may or may not just go completely wrong together. Anyway, let's pick a number here. We'll go 063. Why not, right? Generate from seed. So we're supposed to go with the Basilisk, call it Mahala, or at least call our pilot Mahala. And I don't really like that store. You cannot sell augments to the store. Lost in blue. You cannot buy fuel or turn your distress signal on. Eyes dying. You must disable your medbay clone bay systems during battle. So this is one of those challenges, and it's probably going to happen a lot. Either it's stupendously easy, or just like, seriously? I mean, this one, depending on what enemy crew you're facing, this is just not possible. I mean, either you're sending out tons and tons of boarding drones. But anyway, let's pick a different number. 144. Tektite, we have to call it something. A painful enemy, you cannot attack rock ships. Why would I fight them? You must surrender a crew member to slavers. This can end your game. I'm just telling you that. I don't really like that story. You cannot jump to any store, a beacon, if you have a choice. Now that is stupendously power. Let's just generate a new seed. Stormwalker. There are many like it, but this one is mine. You must use mainly bomb guns. Find one if needed. This one starts off with a cluster bomb, but you're boarding anyway, so you must upgrade your piloting to the max first. That's just basically lose some scrap at the start, but whatever. It's better together. You cannot have any crew member dead until Sector 3. Yeah, it's fine too, but what are you going to do with cloning and stuff like that? Anyway, let's do a few more. Man of War. Once you surrender, you cannot accept any surrender. Well, we're probably going to be killing crew with this one anyway. You cannot attack rebel ships. Final boss allowed. I mean, obviously. You cannot buy fuel or turn your distress signal on. Okay. The Fregatade. You must accept all surrenders. If a crew member is alone during a jump, he must be dismissed on arrival. What? Ah, okay. But this one's just annoying. Well, annoying. I mean, every extra rule you add to the game is going to be annoying. This one just like, yeah, okay, but say, what happens if you have 3 crew members? Think about it. Piloting is only too big. If you have 3 crew members, one of them is going to be left alone, unless, of course, you can guide them go through piloting whilst you jump. I'm pretty sure that would still count. I don't know. I mean, once you get 4, it's probably not a problem because you can have 4 rooms and stuff like that. Anyway, sportsmanship. If your enemy attacks cannot pierce your shield, you must lower your defenses or jump away. Sure. Okay. Sure. It's not like the enemy is going to do it, but sure. If your enemy attacks, yeah, we've seen that. Team limits. You must have at most 2 crew members. Which is a problem when you start off with more, but I mean, you can throw them out anyway. You must turn oxygen off while nebula. That's an interesting one. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to do any of these, by the way. Like I said, it's just showing them off a bit. Time bomb. You must disable your oxygen system while fighting. That sometimes happens anyway during cap positions, so that's not too bad. One should surrender, cannot accept. Okay, oven checker. If you find a star, you must go back to it before leaving the sector. Hmm? What do you mean? If you find a star, you must go back to it before leaving the sector. I mean, if you already find it, why would you go back to it? I suppose it could work if you have long-range scanners, or you get a system, or you get a sector scan somewhere along the lines. But yeah, I suppose a bit vague, but it'll probably work. The holiday rush. You may only use the exit beacon if the rebel fleet is currently occupying it. High risk, high reward. You must always try to endanger your crew in events. I mean, these are things that can kick your game, cut your game fairly short, really quick. You cannot attack Zoltan ships. Okay. That needs an upgrade. You cannot upgrade your weapons. That can be a painful one. Wait. You cannot upgrade your weapons. So, what if you're playing with Stealth A? Does that mean your weapons is just completely useless? And you have to go towards boarding or something? Interesting. Killer Queensbury. You may only attack undamaged systems or systemless rooms. Alright. You must use mainly flag... But what do they mean with mainly flag guns? I mean, okay, you need to use one when you have the chance, or is it just flag guns? Kind of vague, isn't it? Right. Serenka, I run the solo. You cannot jump to a new sector if you have more than 1 crew member. You cannot attack slug ships. You cannot jump to any distress beacon. Huh. Okay. You cannot buy weapons from the store. Means you're really much tied to RNG. If the Royal Fleet catch you, you must surrender. You can't. Well, you can, but that's just basically GG. In battle, you're only allowed to use systems also present on the enemy ship. I'm pretty sure this is fine on Advanced Edition, but can probably pretty darn easily screw you over on Cap Edition. Mainly because there are ships out there that do not even have weapons on them. I mean, you can always jump away, I guess. I'm all in. You must defeat an enemy ship with all of your crew inside it. You must use mainly beam guns, found if needed. Okay. RNGs will be praised. You must sacrifice a crew member to the RNGs at every exit beacon, if you have more than 2 or more. Sometimes things break. If a system gets fully destroyed, you can't repair it while in battle. Alright. Must jump to all distress beacons. Cannot jump to any store beacon. You cannot attack Federation ships. I'm pretty sure I just the pirates then. Must mind control an enemy, bring him back to your ship, then kill for experiments. Okay. I mean, these are interesting nonetheless, but if you start off with a ship that doesn't have a teleporter and doesn't have mind control, you're already giving up 2 slots. I suppose you could mind control someone. No, that doesn't work, does it? No, that doesn't work. Must turn on your accessibility at least once. Alright. Must use mainly missile guns, but I mean, what if you run out of missiles? I mean, you must end the game with 3 augments. Cool. Alright. Anyway, yeah. That's the FTLCG or faster than light challenge generator. So that's 30 mods that weren't really worth an entire video, I would say. That being the hull swap mod, the AI pack, and the challenge generator. So yeah, that's where I'm going to cut it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're still in the series. Feel free to show support by commenting, liking, and or subbing if you haven't already. Links to all 3 mods will be in the video description. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye everyone.